y'all won't like me after that. No, I see. I'll do the granny for you guys in a second. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. All right, Nandy, welcome. You see me? I see you. All of you guys are so amazing, showing up on time to your business. And you guys been showing out. All right, I think it's only Wednesday, hump day. You guys been showing out all week. All right. Just a moment. We'll be starting. We're not in a hurry. We got Amanda in the building. All right, Amanda, I see you. Hey, beautiful.
Hi, Miss Princess. How are you?
I'm blessed, highly favored, filled with the love of the Lord, you guys. Let's go. All of you guys, keep me going. You know, I'm in California, so when it lights up, I be one eye open sometimes. Like, what they doing? What they doing? They sided up the world. Lord, I gotta get my jet ready. All right. I think we can. Let's see how many people are in the room. We got a lot of people. Are the fireflies out? Wait a minute. All right. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna hold you guys much longer. We have Mr. Hans Augustine. I was corrected. Augustine. You guys get that right. The boss said it is not Augustine. It is Augustine. And he is going to be our host tonight. And welcome, everyone. So glad to see you. Let's have an amazing night. I'm going to pass the mic on to you, Mr. Augustine.
Thank you. I can see you talk to my lady. She's been giving me a hard time all my life, but I tell people, I said, I'm okay with the business coach making it happen. Hey, welcome, guys. Thank you, Miss Princess, for opening us up and really kind of getting the room completely warmed up. I really appreciate the partnership. Nothing better than seeing a friend, a queen, and another person that has been fighting the good fight for the last 24 months, establishing what we have tonight. If you guys if this is your very first time on a pod call, welcome. Tonight, I actually put on a suit just for you because I told people, they said if I want to pick up more, I got to look more. And I'm going to actually do that to kind of position myself to the business that I actually would like to have in the next 36 months. I told the next 36 months is me focusing on making sure that I can get my family to a holiday. When I say holiday, my dream is vision that I'm going to be gone for 60 days. Nobody can ask me a question. Nobody can call me. I won't be doing a meeting. It's not because I don't like you. It's because I built something that was built to last, basically. So I'm excited tonight. We're going to actually make sure that we save a lot of time because I can turn into a preacher sometimes, but I'm going to actually pause because we got a lot of great spotlights tonight. So I really am glad that you made it here tonight. Let me just make sure if you guys don't see your business partners right now, go ahead and give them a quick tinkle and let them know that we're going to get the ball started. But I'm going to ask support to go ahead and go to the next slide so that we can kind of get the ball going. Here's the Zoom keeping guidelines. If you have the ability to turn on your camera, please do. Obviously, the whole idea is to make sure that you're present. And this is one of the ways that you can show that you're present in your business. If you are just jumping on, go ahead and mute your line just so that when people are speaking or sharing, be careful with that so that we can kind of make sure that for those that are taking notes or making sure that they try to understand the information. Obviously, I can't tell people to dress for success and not dress myself. So tonight I decided to follow the rules of engagement. And I told people, go ahead and take a lot of notes. People who become students are the ones that actually end up being the most successful because you can always learn from everybody. Tell people I learned from my granddaughter. I learned from those that are above me. And I even learned from those that may not have even been in my position because there's something good that people may have to say. So do that tonight. Let's go to the next slide. I'm going to share with you guys how to get connected with our organization. These are some of the pod leaders that have successfully gotten to the next step as a business director. Doesn't mean it's not possible for you, but if you're looking for guidance and you're trying to make sure you have a better understanding, you got yourself Mr. Suni Samad. You got yourself a gentleman by the name of Brian Swisher, Mikhail Mecki, Mr. Kimberly Howard, Mr. Sean Hoyer, myself, Hans Augustin, the lovely Miss Princess Map that opened up, and the gentleman Akil Rashid. Our contact informations are there so that as you are starting to work your transactions or developing and you're not sure and you may actually have a question, feel comfortable in reaching out to your business director, obviously first. If they're not available, we are a team and an organization that works together. So we want you to communicate. Our phone numbers and emails are available. So reach out so that as you start to develop this business, you're going to need assistance. When I got here, my first 90 days, I tucked on to this gentleman named Mr. Suni Saman. I said, hey, teach me what you've learned in the past. And I continue to do the same. Next slide so that we can kind of press to the next part. So obviously, this is my favorite meeting of every week. And I realize the reason why I've fallen in love with it because we get a chance to communicate as a team. So tonight we had the lovely opening by Miss Princess Map. My name is Hans Augustin. I'm one of the business directors here in New Jersey. If you've never met me, I'm going to be hosting tonight. We're going to have the gentleman by the name of Eric Carolina kind of go ahead and do our recognition. Tonight, we're going to have you pay attention because we're going to have some of our great presenters, Miss Christine and Miss Natalia, talk about the system, especially if you're just coming on board. And even if you are on board, I realize that little things can get mistaken if you don't remember how the system works. We're going to spotlight the gentleman, Mr. David Upton out of California, Miss Marilyn Granado out of Texas, Miss Tammy East Coast. Miss Tammy, let me make sure I get it correct. She's going to be also spotlighted. And another East Coast, I won't start no wars, but Miss Betty Hall, who cranked through the process of making sure things are happening in South Carolina. So tonight, let's enjoy that. Take notes, be present, be available. As you guys get spotlighted, we're going to try to hold that spotlight to somewhere between 5 to minutes, sharp, so that we can get some of the pieces of the puzzle outplayed. And I know there's going to be some great testimonies from Miss Tammy and Miss Betty Hall. We want to make sure we kind of hold the room accordingly. But in the meantime, so that we have enough time to not only close the call, but make sure that we're sharp for those that are going to be presenting, which is our team members out of the Philippines, to make sure that we get a great idea of our system. Next slide. This is how we get trained. Congratulations to Ms. Beck last night who did the wealth formula. Now there is an adjustment. That means every now Thursday and Friday, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be hosting our winner circle. So the Tuesday call has been pushed into our community call at 1 o'clock. We want to make sure that we gather at that point. But now our winner circle is always going to be on Thursday and Friday so that you guys pay attention to the calendar. Not saying that you want, but we want you to be aware of it. If you want to leverage these workshops are really also for some of you guys who are brand new to learn, but really the $1 Million Baby is really for your clients, meaning that as you get a chance, maybe you're brand new, maybe you're not brand new, maybe it's a timing thing. You could leverage these workshops like the $1 Million Baby. It starts tonight, right after this call, so that you can go ahead and get them presented. If you are interested in learning about the Small Business Academy, which means that gets hosted every Wednesday, Mr. Brian Swisher has actually been hosting that for some time. So some of you guys who want to learn how to leverage small business, it's available to you. And then if you really want to develop a team, because as I shared with everybody, I realized that I came back from a reality that this system is going to be built leveraging and building a relationship with people. So if you learn how the LinkedIn system, I would almost say more than 50-60% of you probably came off that platform. So it already works. But if you don't understand how that system works, or if you need a refresher, we host it every Thursday. And then some of you guys may have full-time schedules. You may not always be available for these calls. We've launched the Supreme Team YouTube page. So we want you to get comfortable in getting that link. If you don't have it, reach out to your business director. Take a look inside the postings in WhatsApp. They always are posting that regularly. Next month, at the beginning of the month, we're going to get our Getting Started Right class. We only host that once a month. It's the best orientation in the game, which means that if you are brand new and you have not been invited to that, reach out to your business director or reach out to one of the team members. We'll make sure you get the information, but we host that every month. And we actually always have a great coalition of team members that are not only training you how to get the ball going, but it's going to position you to understand how to leverage a financial needs analysis, really kind of teach you the system of our 1, 2, 3, go. And then obviously, in order to grow your team, we host a call on Monday night through the major national call, but every Saturday our organization hosts a business opportunity call at 1 o'clock. So this is a great way that if you're not sure how to present this information to a potential prospect, recruit, or individual interested in this business, get comfortable with inviting them on that call. Look for the time zones that are available so that you can see the difference between East Coast, West Coast. So I don't have time to share that fully, but there is also once every second Saturday of the month. That'll be next September coming up on the second Saturday of the month. We'll be hosting our academy. I have learned to make a lot of money through the academy, which means that you can't come to me and tell me it works. I won't get too spicy. It doesn't work. I'm going to tell you it actually does, because for the last 24 months, I've been walking into schools, not just me, but this started for us 8 years ago, which means that for last 8 years, a lot of people have walked into schools. They've gone and had these conversations. But if you want to learn that system of how to do that, show up on that academy. I do host a call personally called the Wealth Showdown every Thursday evening, with the intent to make sure that this is another place for you to be able to leverage presentation by somebody who's had a little bit of experience in the real estate space, but now teaching how to leverage the Index Universal Life potential policy to leverage as another solution, another cash flow, so that maybe if it's a way for you to get trained, come on board. If this is another way for you to introduce your clients to some information, because the system says that not only do we do discovery, but we got to present solid information. So maybe you've had a quick chat with your client and you really might not be ready to do the next step. Go ahead and get them to one of these calls where we're presenting this information. If you are a believer, it is not required, but for someone like myself, I love this call. I personally invite anybody who's interested. We do it every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 on the East Coast time zone, and obviously an hour before that. And I know the California people, y'all been storming that call. So y'all troopers that show up at 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. But this is available to all. If you'd like a word of encouragement or a prayer for the day, and you'd like to kind of increase your belief on how we're leveraging the understanding of belief systems to grow this business, please show up at that call. And then we also host our national call. That means if you are working in the school districts, this is another way for you to pick up your game from others that have been doing very well. Every Monday night every Monday we host that call. I think it's 11 a.m. East Coast, 10 a.m. CST. So get to the calendar. If we're going to go to the next slide so we can position before we hand over the call to our recognition partner. This is our full calendar of events. So go ahead and get this QR code or get a copy of it. One side basically tells you can turn it into cash flow. The other side is now training so that you could leverage yourself. And I always tell people, all of the results of you being here comes from this system. So don't try to change it. Just duplicate it, because that's what it was built for. Next slide. All right. I get a chance to introduce this gentleman. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him because I see how he brought himself to the call the very first time that I met him. And he said, hey, I'm really here to do something big. He showed up at this convention with the intent to learn and position himself to grow his particular business, or the understanding of what he would like to get accomplished for his family. So I'm going to pass this call to this gentleman called Eric Carolina out of the West Coast so that he can introduce some of the ones that have been successful this week in business. So Mr. Carolina, I respectfully pass the call over to you, and congratulations for all the efforts that you've done for your business. I'm looking forward to all the success that you're going to create so far, sir. Is he with us? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Good. You're good.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys for allowing me to be in this position to be able to recognize some of our colleagues that are here today that are being spotlighted, right? What we have going on. We just gonna jump right into it. I didn't get briefed too well on how this operates. Best I can.
Let's go.
Right,
let's go. Congratulations, sir.
Ready to get on the board.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Okay, let's go, Nick. Let's go, Nick. Let's go.
Go, Nick.
Let's go, Anthony Broussard.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, sir. Let's go. Anthony, congratulations, son.
All right.
Let's go.
Congratulations,
Congratulations. Let's get it. Get it. Let's get it. All right. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. 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 Do it.
Right.
Congratulations.
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 Way to go.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Congratulations. Let's go.
Let's get it.
Right.
Get it. Let's get it. Congratulations.
Great job.
Congratulations.
Get it.
Congratulations.
All right.
Congratulations.
Right.
Let's go, Miss Dallas. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Good job.
Hey,
Congratulations. 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 Congratulations.
all right. Sorry.
All right, Miss Donna. Let's get it. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Hi, Hans. Carolyn.
Do it. Let's get it done.
Let's go.
Congratulations.
For Convention 2027.
Let's do it.
All are welcome to start registering now.
All right.
Congratulations, Kimberly Howard, the business director,
Great job.
showing true leadership.
Let's go.
Registered early.
All right.
All right.
Yes.
All right, let's give
Yeah.
congratulations to Gene
Congratulations.
Santos.
Congratulations.
Also getting in there early as an associate.
Executive Business Director, Mr. Sudi
All
Samad.
right.
Congratulations.
Samad,
All right.
Great job.
Registered early.
Congratulations.
Corey Jones.
Come on, let's go.
Right.
Let's go. Hey, Miss Aida. Good job.
Aida Ramirez. Straight in the
Right, Mr. Mom.
Hey.
Let's go.
Latoya.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Way to go, Sean.
Congratulations, Miss Coney.
All right.
Let's get it.
Congratulations.
Let's go.
James Thorpe. Look at Sharpie seat right there.
Miss Map. Congratulations.
All right, Miss Map.
Congratulations.
Leave me out the party.
Let's
Gonna
go.
beat it.
Let's go, Miss Monica.
All right, Monica.
Yeah.
Getting on that plane, child.
Hey, Mr. Ridley.
All right,
Congratulations,
Mr.
Ridley, sir.
Oh, there's my guy, George.
All right, Mr. Nick Nicker. Congratulations, sir. Dallas. In Dallas.
Come on, Rebecca.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right, Mr.
Get it. Get it, Miss Don. See you in Dallas. Let's go. Let's go. Let's grow. Let's go. Yeah. See you in Dallas.
Congratulations.
You in Dallas.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Even bigger.
Right, Mr. Jones. I will see you in this.
Way to go, guys.
Congratulations.
Mr. Michelle.
Go, Miss Michelle.
Yeah, that's right.
Go, yay.
Bella.
Gabrielle.
Go.
Registered early. Congratulations.
All right.
Michelle. Congratulations. Yes.
Let's get it, Miss Michelle.
Congratulations.
Go, Marlena.
Road trip.
Good, Miss Marlena.
Road trip. Yes.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Carolina.
All All
See you in
right.
Dallas.
Cab
All
is
right,
back.
come on, Mr. Carolina.
Cab is back. Yeah, I messed around and slid in there.
All
All
right.
right.
Dallas.
Come
Congratulations,
on,
son.
Marino.
Let's
Somebody
get it.
tell him no.
Yay.
Let's get it.
Registered early. I love
All
you.
right, Mr. Babatunde.
Yay, great
In
job.
sir.
Let's go,
Thank
Baba
you.
Love it.
Tunde.
You
Dallas.
registered early for
See you in
2024.
All right, Danita. Great
Oh,
job.
Danita.
Alex, get registered early for 2027.
Go, Danita.
All right, Miss Danita.
All right,
All
Miss
right, Miss Vanessa. Let's get it.
Way to go,
Let's
Vanessa.
go.
Congratulations. Get
Let's
registered
get
early.
it.
I love it. I love it.
Yay.
Spotlights. All right.
everybody.
Moving into
Right.
spotlights. David Upton, training associate. Marlena Granado, training associate. Tammy Yarball, training associate. And Miss Betty Hall, also an associate, getting spotlighted today. All righty.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carolina. I appreciate the handoff. So, guys, obviously, we're about to do the spotlight. We want to make sure that we keep it in context. I'm going to give everybody about 5 to 6 minutes at best so we can kind of keep this call moving quickly. I'm going to turn my preacher hat and turn on my host hat. So, let me bring up this gentleman respectfully, Mr. Upton. I got a tremendous amount of respect. I've seen what you've been able to accomplish in the last several weeks. We've actually been having a lot of personal conversations over the last couple of weeks, just kind of understanding what the game plan for you is, sir. I've seen that you've been cracking the bar. I've been seeing you cracking applications. I've been seeing you cracking the outside. So go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody. Tell them a bit about yourself, the history of how you got to this platform. I'm going to open up the three questions before we wrap up, sir, but I'm going to pass the mic over to you so you let everybody know where you're coming from, who you are, how did you get to OIC so that they have a little bit of an understanding of who Mr. David Upton is, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing me on here, and thank you for giving me the chance to talk a little bit about, my motivation and why I want to do this work and why I want to do this work with OIC. As you might be able to tell from my background here, I do have a background in hospitality. So I've worked in the restaurant and bar industry for about 20 years. And in these last 2 years, I began to transition into this space that we work in now, working with, helping people holistically plan their finances. And that began for me at New York Life. And through some decisions that I needed to take that were centered around family, I was actually based in the Bay Area in San Francisco during this whole time. Chose to move back to the Central Valley where I'm from, and in doing that, walked away from the role that I had just started at New York Life. It was actually kind of a short-lived experience. So when I walked away from that space, I wasn't sure whether I was going to continue, whether I was going to keep my license active and continue working in this space. And through doing some career exploration, Mr. Augustine and I became connected on LinkedIn. He presented the opportunity to me, and I was I didn't dive in the first moment, but I think Mr. Augustine can attest that once I decided that this is the direction I was going in, I jumped in, both feet head first. And yeah, so I guess that's what brings me to OIC. And it's been, for me, just a wonderful experience with all the support and the training, but also learning how to leverage the platforms and the understanding of certain markets that's already been established, before I ever came to the platform.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you, because I want to focus on systems tonight and then kind of close with your experience in the Raise the Bar and how that came up. But one of the things that I've noticed, and you can share with the team, recently your application count has increased. Recently, I've seen your activity significantly increase. And I realize that in my personal opinion, it's system based. And if you could just share with the team, like, I know some of your initial applications, how did you generate that opportunity? How did all of a sudden some of the school activity that we've been seeing come about, so that people can kind of see how the system has been working on your behalf? And then I would like for you to kind of really share the thought process before we close, how you came up with the raise the bar concept, what happened recently with that event. But I'm going to ask you that first question saying, hey, how has this system benefited you in the last several weeks, noticing some of the activity and some of the experiences you've been having with closing and approved and potentially about to get paid on some of these opportunities that you've been creating for yourself? How did that come about, and what's been happening for you, Mr. Upton?
Yes, I guess just transitioning from what I was saying a moment ago, it's a perfect transition actually, because that's another reason why I was attracted to our initial conversations, and then also the OIC as an agency, because I am a systems driven person. It's been said before, I think by Mr. Samad, if I'm not incorrect, it's one thing to have a success, but it's another thing to be able to repeat that success. And so being systems oriented is very important to me. As I joined the company, as I joined OIC, I think, the same can maybe be said for many of us that are on this platform, but there were things going on in the background that needed my attention. And, so business didn't materialize as quickly as I wanted it to, but I still stayed true to the system. And I would say sometime maybe about 6 to 7 weeks, maybe even 8 weeks ago, I'd have to look back on my calendar to verify, but I began to get very serious about these systems. Not that any of them were new concepts to me, but I would say that I was, to coin a phrase, inconsistently consistent. And I realized that I needed to be consistently consistent. And so I began to really lock in on blocking my calendar and honoring those blocks of time for prospecting, whether that be reaching out to the telephone or the LinkedIn prospecting. Following up with the schools. I got plugged. I'd always been with the ERG, but I officially signed up with the Education Retirement Group. And in doing so, opted into the email coordinator, which if you haven't done that, I encourage everyone to do it. There is a cost of it per week, but it's essentially prospecting for me, right? And so to back up just a little bit and answer those questions, because I am guilty of being long-winded. I think some of the first opportunities that came through was when I realized some of my own family members, people very close to me, I had written policies for them back at New York Life, and just talking with them, I had, personally, there was no need for me to incentive. I didn't see a need for them to change those policies. I thought they were good policies at the time. But asking her, hey, how's your review going? Who's your new agent? She's like, wait, what? I'm supposed to have a review? I'm supposed to have a new agent? So her policies had become orphaned policies. And in simply talking with her about that, Mr. Augustine and I realized that there might be an opportunity for her to actually significantly increase the amount of coverage that she had, but also improve the package in terms of the living benefits. And so we did that. And I think that just, kind of got the ball rolling for me. But also in tandem, turning on the email coordinator has been very helpful, because I'm now, like, people are using my Calendly link to book intro calls with me. And with a pretty good success rate, we're moving those calls forward, meeting through meeting. I mean, Mr. Augustine and I have had several in the last week, and there's more on the calendar. So again, to speak to that system, right, I think being very intentional about the way you are using your time on a daily basis, and not just waking up and thinking, then blocking out that time, but being organized and intentional and directional and going to bed the night before, the week before, and waking up and knowing, okay, this is what I'm doing today. So you can just hit the ball, hit the ground running. And
And
so
the one
being
thing,
intentional about that calendar block, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I said the one thing that I want to add, in the thought process, because you made me think about it, and before we move to the next question, was just the idea that what really David said something to me the other day, and I knew he picked it up. It was just the idea that once he decided to look around first, he found his natural market. Then after you found his natural market, we identified the natural market was connected to one of the school systems that were not too far neighboring. And then he actually leveraged LinkedIn to not only communicate because he was doing the prospect, but then he ended up leveraging it to communicate with another teacher that we recently closed in that space. And the last thing before I steal any of his thunder was that once he got in motion, he stayed in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Once he got in motion, he stayed in motion. But you wanted to add one more thing before we close on the question about the raise the bar, because I definitely want to make sure the audience gets a chance to hear that part. But I didn't want to cut off your thoughts, but you had me tingling once you said a few things. But I want to make sure that this is your spotlight.
It's just like you said, staying true to that system, right? Like honoring the time blocks, following through, using, being patient. You mentioned Miss Swayze is the person that we got connected with through LinkedIn, and that's a good example. Kind of lost the thought I was headed with, but we'll stick with this one. That's a good example because that was just leveraging the Infinite Eight, and I think my language might be a little bit different from some of the language that other people use, but simply introducing myself through LinkedIn, getting connected with people, enlarging my network, not pitching or selling at all, offering myself as a resource. And she put her hand up and said, yes, I do want to have a conversation with you. And as Mr. Augustine said, we were able to provide her with some solutions to some problems that she was experiencing. And she is also interested in joining our platform as a training associate. So, I haven't reinvented the wheel. I'm just using it on my vehicle.
And that's the reason why I was excited about highlighting you, is because I really saw that you saw the system starting to play itself out. Because what I want you guys to understand that David just said is that, hey, I took my grand opening contact and just maybe wasn't ready to hit the boards with that yet. But then when he tingled the senses of saying, hey, let me just do the review and find out what your family has. And then he says, after he did the review, we were able to increase it with living benefits and increase the coverage. And then because he's in motion, he's touching LinkedIn, he's developing relationship, because that's what we do. We talk to people. He found another account. Then now he says, hey, the system says I can leverage going into the school, or I can leverage the email system. And he did. And he says now he's in motion. But David, I realized recently, way before that, all of that system reality, this raise the bar conversation started to pop up, and you were mentioning it. And one of the things that I loved is I saw you take it from infancy to the idea to the implementations there. So share people what the raise the bar scenario was. How was that event recently for you? How did you feel about it, so that we can take the next spotlight, sir?
Absolutely. So I'll be brief about this because this is a kind of a passion project about me. And if I'm not careful, I'll take up all of the time. But the drive for me, and I communicated this last night too, and I felt last night was the first installment. We held it at a place called Monarch. It was sponsored by Terramana Tequila and the Connected Restaurant, which is called the Pawn Shop. So these are all somewhat speakeasy kind of concepts. Very loved by San Francisco hospitality. And so, quickly I'll touch on just sort of the structure of it. I thought this is something we're very used to in these spaces, but normally when they happen, it is solely about the Spirit brand showcasing a new product that they're coming out with or themselves. So what I wanted to do was sort of find interested brands that would want to attach themselves to sort of lifestyle, health, and wellness trends, specifically around finance, to start. And in doing so, right, then they literally will sponsor the event. They have a reach to their audience, and they're also going to cover the cost of certain things, which is what happened last night. Ms. Santos came out, and if she's on the call, I have to, thank her. She was sort of my deck handler for the night, and that was very helpful. And even if she hadn't served me in any way technically, it's just a pleasure to have her there. But the reasons why I wanted to start this thing, I have some numbers here. I felt this intrinsically, and I talked about this last night. There was a survey done a couple years ago. They surveyed over 2,000 workers across 11 different industries, and the questions, they're trying to understand how comfortable people felt about their level of preparedness for retirement. And hospitality came in dead last. We came in at 44%. I mean, if we compare that to 66% in finance or 78% in tech, that's a really big gap, right? So I shared these numbers with people. And I won't share all of them, but I will share the last one because this means a lot to me personally. Only 19% of people who work in the hospitality industry expect that they will have to financially rely on a family member during retirement. And that is almost double the average of every other industry. So having this experience of working in the industry, I know personally that people tend to make a lot of cash, and they tend to sit on that cash, literally sitting on physical cash. And if it is in a savings account, if it's anywhere, it's in a savings account that's earning less than 1%. So I felt this drive, almost an obligation, to bring the information to this group in the spaces that they're comfortable in a format that would be approachable to them. And it took a little bit of time, but in staying consistent with it and in sort of keeping my foot on the pedal, we had the first one last night. I wouldn't say that it was perfect. I wouldn't say that it was as large of a crowd as I wanted, but the fact that we did it, I think, means a lot. And I think that the people who came out also received a lot of value from it. I don't think that, I know that because they've told me so. And I do expect to follow up. Last thing I'll say about that, I expect to follow up with one individual who pulled me to the side at the very end before he left, told me that he was involved in some kind of an auto accident some time ago and has just received his payout from that. And part of the reason he wanted to come to this event is because he wants to get an understanding, an idea of how best what he should do with that money. And this is a very young person too.
Congratulations, sir, on the ability to kind of leverage the system in your favor and then taking the idea to the final thought. So I only believe great things are going to happen for you. I can't wait to continue to support you. I know you're one of the ones that is going to be able to leverage it. But if we all can just give him a quick congratulations, I'm going to bring up Miss Marilyn Granado.
Let's go. Congrats.
But congratulations, sir, and
Mr.
continued
Upton.
success. Like I said, let's get those dollars rolled over in your favor, sir. Miss Granado, if you actually are here, let's go ahead and quickly bring you up.
I'm right here.
Good. Again, guys, another individual that I've seen kind of just starting to leverage the system tonight. I think that's my theme. Ms. Granado, I'm going to be fair and quick, but share with the team what's been going on with you. I've seen apps flowing. I see events happening for you. Share with them about the events recently you've been having, and then share with them about the success that you've been having on the application side, and where do you feel that that's been coming from for you so that they can kind of get an idea of what's been happening for you there in Round Rock ISD, Austin, Texas. The call is passed over to you, Ms. Granado.
Hey, so I just did a professional development, not personal. I set that up actually in May. Looking forward. So definitely was not last minute. And so I put a like slides together and kind of did a little TRS, which is what the pension system here is called, a little bit of a, fun, interactive. I did have a very captive audience. and they definitely did not understand TRS. But my response was not great. So just to let you all know that even when you do it and you plan well, sometimes you don't get the response you want. So then I turned around. That was Friday. Saturday, they'd invited me to a meet the teacher. So they have people from the community come, and like there was another insurance person next to me, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, like stepping stones, all these like, you know, conservancy things or whatever, so that kids could get involved or parents. And I put up my $1 million baby signs, and Aida thankfully came and helped me. My husband was there, who is actually an underwriter for an insurance company here in Austin. But that is not the reason I got into any of this. So he does know some insurance Spanish, but yeah, and so he was there and he was listening to Aida and trying to like figure out how to say stuff, and then he was coaching me. And then not just did I get a good like some names and stuff, but I also did go up to people who were manning the booths and like, hey, you should talk to me. And then one of the ladies had a small business. And then this Friday, I have another, starting off with what I call the snack attack, because sweets don't really work well, but chips and salsa in Texas is like, yeah. So I'm going to bring chips and salsa. And today was their first day of school. So I understand that is a no-go for somebody who's going to get on campus. So I am kind of riding it out until kind of next week-ish, until I can get back on campuses. I have been pushing more small businesses and have hooked up with some home care. And they all say, hey, you know what? They have to get professional development hours in and training hours. If you go and say, hey, I'm free, you bring your lunch, I'll give you some training. If you're free, they will talk to you. So just to let you know, home care people have to do some kind of training hours for all their staff. And so I'm hoping to kind of get in there to do some of that. Also, am I at 5 minutes? Okay. Also, I have actually hooked up with Backpack Friends, which is, I just was looking for places to serve. Honestly, like what could I do? Somebody who I had met, USA Cares, which is about preventing suicide in veterans. He introduced me to Backpack Friends. They weren't responding. So I went ahead and served, and that's how I ended up getting face to face with them. And they are really, what they do is they feed kids on the weekends for different schools. So they adopt a school, those kids who need food for the weekend, they pack backpacks for those kids. So I'm really excited about getting teamed up with them and hoping that'll be another in to Pflugerville, which I understand you guys have zero idea what this is, but Austin is like the city, but there's like all these little pieces outside. And so Pflugerville is another piece that is close to me. So I'm hoping to kind of get in there.
And I think the big thing that you've said so far, Miss Marilyn, is that, like you said, if you start to go out, guys, in motion, the system says get active. And as you get active, you'll start to meet more and more people. And I tell people one thing I can always remember that was always said to me, it says, hey, married activity and divorce the results. This gentleman, Mr. Samad, used to say. And the reality is, as you divorce the results, all you're really doing is looking for the one. It's just like David just said. The reality is that, hey, there was 5 people in the room, but there was definitely at least one person who raised their hand. And one of the things that I've seen you do, Miss Marilyn, successfully over the last couple of weeks is go into the rooms and start to have the conversation and find the Elizabeth Smiths of the world to raise their hand. Before we close out, just share very quickly the results that you've gotten with this one teacher and how you've been able to develop that relationship and close out multiple applications before I bring up Miss Tammy up so that we can kind of close out this section with you.
So this one was a snack attack. I went in, and they came in waves, because school lunch, whatever. And she was there, and some lady was talking to me about just even questions. And I was telling her about the different treatments that I do because of my chronic illnesses. And Miss Beth Smith listened to me and was like kind of in tears about the fact that I've like overcome so much. And she's like, you know, finances scare me. I just went through a divorce and all this stuff. And I said, I would love to help you. And, you know, you all know you chase them down. You chase them down. And so this was one of the ladies, and she like first, you know, hey, I have ADHD. It is hard for me. So I knew on me as a teacher, I needed to give her specific steps. I need to come back to those steps. I need, you know what I mean? I have to make it real clear with her where we're going. But so I was thinking we would just help her with her finances and getting things together. And that was not what happened. Beth had money sitting in a bank that was getting 1%. She has like $60,000 getting 1%. And so just I gave her a lot of financial education. She brought a notebook. We met in person. She wrote notes, you know? And so, and then, you know, Hans and I are just kind of talking to her, and she's telling me, you know, that she has, oh, this money over here. And oh, actually, I'd like this money over here. And do you guys, you know, do this? Do you do this? And, you know, hey, could you talk to my kids? You know, that kind of stuff. So ended up like opening a whole lot of stuff. So she did an annuity. She is doing an IUL, and she's doing a Roth. And this is somebody who is like very worried about money. And I put it on my flyer. One of her responses to me, she said, like, I'm a person with financial trauma. And Marilyn was amazing to work with, very attuned, and did not like push me, and really allowed me to feel like I'm in control of my money. And come on, guys, I can't get any better than that, right? So I put it on my flyer now. Like, this is one of the testimonies I have from a teacher who was too scared, and she did it anyway. So.
And the reason why I say congratulations, if you guys could share some hearts inside the chat or in the, it's because it really just takes one, guys. I don't care how many people I talk to. I just need to save the one. And then the one wakes up and says, "Hey, I'm going to do an annuity with you. I'm going to roll over my funds. I'm going to do an index universal life with you. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to my children." So I tell people when I show up at events, guys, and same thing with Miss Marilyn, it's like, "Hey, listen, we're here to serve. I might talk to 10. I just need one of you guys to say this was successful." And if I can respect that one, then it just ends up fun. So congratulations to Ms. Marilyn. I see the success that you've been creating in Round Rock. You took the day one courage of a little bit of, I'm not sure, but you really stuck it through, and you showed up at school after school, and now you're starting to create result after result. Consistency and discipline is what shifts the mind. And I see that consistency and discipline developing you. So congratulations to you.
Thanks.
I'm gonna
Just
respect.
one more thing. I did send an email to people that I had gotten from the snack attacks last year, and I just had someone write in to me today and been like, "Hey, I want to meet." So just to let you know, sometimes that follow-up email does actually do something.
Congratulations. Congratulations. That's all it is, guys. It's
Thanks.
just one client at a time. I'm gonna bring up Miss Tammy and I guess Miss Betty together, just step by step, because I think you guys have very similar realities. I'm gonna open it up to Miss Tammy first, and then bring Miss Betty right behind her. Share with us, Miss Tammy. Obviously, I have a lot of respect for you. I call you the follow-up queen. I just never seen that kind of follow-up game. I thought I was tight, but I guess it's an East Coast thing. I know we're gonna get in trouble, but share with
It's
everybody
the
your
A
testimony.
thing.
It's an Atlanta thing. So, share with everybody your testimony about convention, because I really believe you came back changed. I don't want to tell your story, but we got a small window here. But share with the team what your feelings were about convention, what was your experience, and how did you come back different, actually?
Sure. First, I want to clear up my last name because a lot of people don't know how to pronounce my last name, and I feel like you is one of the people too. But I really want to get on Mr. Eric, but I still love you, Mr. Eric. My last name is pronounced Yarbrough. Thank you, sir. So going to convention, it actually meant a lot to me. It definitely put me in a different mindset because I want something I never had. And by me going into convention, not only am I thinking about my family, I'm thinking about the little people called my grandson and my niece. I want them to have a better future. Of course, I want a better future for my children, but they already know what I taught them. I'm still teaching my grandson and my niece. So going into a convention, I really didn't know what to expect because I never went to a convention before, right? So I was a bit, I want to say, excited at first, and then I got more excited as days passed. But for me to actually see Miss Carrie, somebody that I Miss Carrie with, that I was actually bonding with on some of our national meetings, it just felt so real and so surreal that I was able to hug her, to touch her, to love on her, and she felt the same for me. So we was giving each other vibes back and forth on day one. And then for day two, and I ran into you and Miss Betty. Oh my gosh, that Mrs. Bling Bling Betty. That's Mrs. Betty' new nickname. Her love and understanding, her prayer, her talk, it just touched me in so many ways that I needed to be touched on a spiritual level. And that just helped me be molded with the Lord on a different level to definitely know that this platform is for me and I'm ready to go, and I just loved it. And as each day transition, it just made me feel more great about being here, great about my business, great about definitely looking forward for the next step at OIC. So I learned a lot from convention. I took a lot of notes. I actually made a word bank. It's probably 50 words on here that actually stuck out to me from what different speakers and business partners were saying during these sessions that I'm going to actually be taking into consideration more, starting with definitely having self talks with myself, but on a more positive level, as I always already has been doing. But then too, I'm looking at things differently because it's time. It's time. Like I said last Tuesday in our meeting, mandatory meeting, spark meeting, that it's time for me to tell my story. So I have many whys, but my main why is my mother passing. So I feel like me telling that story about her is actually going to help me heal on another level. So it's really still hard for me, but I'm ready to do it. So I'm definitely thankful for being able to go to convention. I'm very thankful for being able to take my first flight with you guys. Definitely taking a chance on myself, taking a chance on my business because I'm focused on the future and things that I never had and things that I want to accomplish.
You reminded me to say to you, Miss Tammy, that I remember I don't know if it's a year and a half ago, I was on the phone one night with Mr. Samad, and he told me his mission. And
Mm-hmm.
his mission was to really help, I won't mess it up, he'll have to say it, but it was all forms of men and women to really just be the person that they were meant to be. That's the short
Mm-hmm.
version of what I can remember. And when you said that, you said, hey, I got the courage to get on the plane. I got the
Mm-hmm.
courage to talk about my story. I got the courage to take the ownership of my business to the next level. And so
Mm-hmm.
I know that this team and the atmosphere of what it is was built for somebody like you. So I just want to tell you
Mm-hmm.
congratulations on all the
Thank you.
breakthroughs that you've had. I know you're the follow-up queen. I know you're the East Coast. I know you're Atlanta. And I will
Congratulations.
I will practice your
Thank
name
you.
properly so we don't get in trouble. But congratulations to you. I just
Thank
wanted to make
you.
sure you were highlighted and respected as the great woman you're going to be on this platform. But I'm going to bring up Miss Betty Hall.
Thank you.
Miss Betty Hall, I heard a story that you were just beyond normal to get to convention. So I'm going to be quiet and just let you share with people your why, tell people what was, what you're okay with sharing with about the sacrifices that you made and how real it was for you. I was in love seeing you when be respectfully as a woman. I tell people I get myself in trouble, but I was happy to see you. And I know that we got a chance to connect and pray really quickly together, but I don't want to steal your thunder. I want to make sure I give you the approximate last spotlight to just share with the team your heart before we close out and pass it out to our presenters tonight. Because I heard there was some breakthroughs. I know there's a why, but I know it's Betty Hall too, so I'm not surprised. So that's how much I respect you, sis. But the call is over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Hans. I really appreciate you. Oh my goodness, I appreciate Mr. David. Every time I see you, you're an inspiration. I know you probably don't know it, but I want you to know it today. Oh my goodness, Miss Tammy, you are absolutely amazing. And Miss Marilyn. Okay, so I really went to God in prayer to him for him to give me what to say today. So I wrote some things down, but let me start off by saying to everybody on this line, 28 people, welcome to the season of overflow. Just in the convention, there's been a breaking, and this overflow is to whoever on this line is willing to receive it. He's not withholding any good thing from us. Like, you're not going to have to fight anymore. Like, I'm speaking through the Spirit, but I just hope that you can grasp that. Welcome to the season of overflow, because he's getting ready to just give you your cup is going to run over, and it's running over to be a blessing unto other people. The Spirit led me to drive to Texas for this convention. This is my second convention. And just listen, let me just be totally transparent. I had went through a season. I had been a victim of domestic violence. So I'm going through all of this behind the scenes, but in front of the scenes, I'm still showing up to the meetings. I'm still, participating. I'm still working my business as best as I can. But in this drive to Texas, it was just like God just carried me. It was almost 15 hours, y'all. From South Carolina to Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, so he carried me. There was no accidents, none. I never got into any traffic. There was nothing. When I tell you, he brought me straight there and just placed me. Even in the first hotel I was in, they put me in a suite. I don't know what God was doing with the suites, but they put me in like a full suite. Okay, fine. So then the second hotel, which was that Marriott, where we had the convention, I checked in and they put me in a presidential suite. She was like, hold on, I want to do something special for you. They put me in a presidential suite. Okay, so the Spirit was leading me to drive. The Lord brought me to Texas and back to South Carolina. No accidents, no traffic, no emergencies, no car trouble, and no fear. Feel that. Okay, because I was in that car. It was just me, God, the angels, and the Holy Spirit. Okay, so in one of the masterminds, I spoke that the convention was going to be a spiritual awakening, and it was over and beyond that. Going through what I went through, look, God got me out. He spared my life. So in that, I'm grateful. But going back to, our leadership and how we edify each other, y'all, Mr. Suni Samad, I started a $300,000 rollover. I met this lady at the Mental Health Awareness Fair. He has worked behind the scenes on this rollover for me, y'all. I mean, it's just like the Heavenly Father, like he's working on each of our behalves, and he's making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, even when we don't know, even when we don't see it. I was going through so much, y'all. I've been moving. I came to Texas. I had a whole house packed up, hadn't unpacked anything. It's just God. So, okay, I'm just Yes. So thank God for the leadership that we have. I thank God for each and every one of you. The last thing that I will say is that he gave me Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we faint not. So in that, I've been speaking to people. I'm gonna have more business partners. God is just growing my business exponentially. Hans, I thank him for sparing your life. I've seen kidney failure. I've seen that. My daughter did home hemodialysis. So I totally get it. I was just so blessed to be in the presence of each and every one of you. And this is real, right? This is not fake. Like even this morning when I was laying before him, calling out each one of your names, you're going to be successful. But he requires something of us as well, you guys. I can continue to make the wrong decisions, but he's always going to bring me back to him because his love and his grace and his mercy towards us. So I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm just going to tell you, if you're here to receive it, welcome to the season of overflow. That's all I got.
Let's get it. Amen.
Amen.
Let's
Amen.
get it.
Amen.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
get unmute,
Oh,
please. Unmute,
amen.
please.
Betty.
Unmute.
It's bling bling
Unmute,
back.
please.
A lot. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Guys, you can't close it any other way except for, like you said, there's a timing for everything. I know it's going to work. Miss Betty just reconfirmed it. And so I just want you guys to get committed to the system, show up at these meetings, these conventions, show up in the room and learn. So the next two presenters are going to position you to learn the system. So when they come up, I want you to take sincere notes because Miss Betty has said the reason why we get to convention is because you guys just saw the pre-convention list. The reason why we show up to these conversations because there's leadership that exists here. The reason why results get created is because once you follow a system, the system just can be rinsed and repeat and you do it over again and you just increase the results. So with that being said, I want to make sure that I respect our team that manages the reality. Miss Christine and Miss Natalie, you guys do a tremendous amount for our organization. We want to pass the call. I'm very thankful you, Miss Christine. You open up the call every morning. I text, you answer. But you are our business partner, and we respect you and love you for it respectfully as our business partner. But I'm going to pass the call over to you so you can share with the team. Please take notes. Don't take this for granted. And please give Miss Christine your attention. I respectfully pass the call as the host to you, Miss Christine, as tonight's closer and presenter.
Thank you, Sir Hans. Good evening, leaders. And this is the Supreme Busy Guide. Natalie will share the slides for a moment. Okay, my name is Christine and I am one of the business coordinator of Supreme PM. And today we will be walking through the most important back office processes and resources available to our associates. Okay, so starting a new business can involve many moving parts, onboarding, documentation, licensing, contracting, E&O coverage, and access to the right system. Okay, so our goal is simple. We want to walk you through the onboarding process and show you exactly what step you need to take so you can start, stay aligned and consistent to make those steps clear, organized, and easier to follow so you can start strong and stay aligned. So a structured onboarding process, it is important because it helps improve efficiency, build confidence, and give you a clear understanding of what is expected you to move forward. So More importantly, you need have to figure everything out on your own. So there is a system, a resources, and a support team available to help you throughout the process. Okay, for the general information for the new agent, so we will need to clarify regarding your email account. So we have two email account that we need to set up. So your .oic email account and your ourinfinite.com email account. So our .oic email account, it is our primarily used when communicating with our support team. So if you have questions, need assistance, or need help with your something related to your business, so it is this is the email. I mean, you primarily use to communicate with us. The other one is our infinite.com email account. So it is where you only receive important communication from the OIC, including your newsletter, announcements, and other important updates. And please take note that that this is only for the licensed agent. So please make sure to make it a habit to both accounts regularly, to check both accounts regularly and make sure you don't miss any important communication. So the other one is for the initial email and interview form. So one of the first thing you can expect is a request for the new agent information email. So this email will ask you to complete the interview form. So it is important that you complete this form because it is a key part of the onboarding process, particularly when an associate is being endorsed to the education retirement group. Even if your recruiter has already provided basic information such as your full name, OIC code, and contact information, license states, and photo, you will still be required to complete this interview form. So along with the interview form, you'll also need to submit your necessary documents, including your professional headshot, a copy of your life and health license if it is available, and a copy of your E&O coverage if it is applicable. So our goal here is to make sure your information and documents are complete so the onboarding process can move toward as smoothly as possible. So assessing your back office. So it is important resources available to all associate your OIC back office. So the OIC back office is your go-to resource for managing, navigating your OIC business. So through your back office web portal, you can access important resources such as instructional guides, business forms, contact information, and the latest announcements. So it is also designed to keep all OIC associate informed, organized, and then supported as they move forward in their business. They should receive email from the home office containing your login credential. And then once you have access, I encourage you to take some time to explore the portal and be familiar with the resources available for you. So always remember if you are unsure where to find something or you need assistance, so don't hesitate to reach out us through your .oic email account. Okay, so for the non-licensed agent, so now that we are covered the general information and resources available to new associates, so let's move for the most important topic, what happens if you are not licensed. So if you are currently not a licensed agent, there are still steps you can take to begin moving forward. So, however, there are specific requirements and guidelines that you need to understand before submitting business. So, we encourage new associates not yet licensed from scheduling onboarding with us. So, we let them focus on getting their license for smooth onboarding moving forward. So, once they already have license, that's the time they can schedule onboarding with us. Okay, so for the non-licensed agents, also, according to the current materials, non-licensed agents also have options available through American Standard Gold or the ACJ, which is you can see it on your back office. So it is belong on your dashboard when you look up in your back office. So the important thing to understand is that being non-licensed does not mean you can independently submit insurance business. So there are specific requirements that must be followed, including working with a licensed agent. So please check all the information here that you can see on the screen, and then it will show all of this on your back office. So feel free to navigate your back office and feel free to read all the information about American Gold Standard. Okay, the next one is to get license. So for to get license, if you remember new agents on board, we submit email, welcome to the team email, which include onboarding checklist. So part of the guide that we include there is how to get license. So feel free to open the link and follow the necessary or the step-by-step guides. And also, I believe that all recruiter and other BD have their own style on how they help their non-licensed agent to take the exam until they pass the exam. So this is the necessary steps. Go forward, Lay. Okay, for the licensed agent, okay, for the license agents, once you have your state license, you need to get your ENO. For those who have their personal license, um, feel free to submit your license with us or directly to the licensing department at licensing at ourinfinite.com email account, so that they will document all your information. So aside from those who have their personal ENO, back office, home office will also have their ENO amounted to 24.99 now. Before it is $30 per month, but right now they on sale, which is 24.99. So these are the steps you need to go when when you want to purchase ENO to the back office. So go to your back office and then go to the account settings, and then once you are in your account settings, go to update your ENO payment. So that's the time you can input all the informations of your credit card, and that's the time once you save it, it will directly pay your ENO amounted 24.99 dollar per month. Take note, you cannot open your back office when it is a need to renew. So make sure that you need to renew your ENO so that you can open your back office. Next slide, Lay. So in here, once also you are a licensed agent, you have your license, and then get your money laundering certification. So for the anti-money laundering certifications, when you set up or meet with us for the onboarding, we will discuss you briefly about how to get your anti-money laundering certification. It is important during when you want to request appointment in different carriers. So another one is get appointed with an insurance carrier. So once you want to get appointed with insurance carrier, I mean, so go to Sure LC. This link is seen on your onboarding checklist. So go to your website, open the link, and then in this part, since you are under OIC and we need to create your LC account, please take note that we cannot request any carrier appointment if we don't have Sure LC account. So all the carriers we need or we want to have appointment is we can request here in Sure LC account. So go in here, create informations, then follow the steps, and then for this one we will discuss this also for the new agent, how to create their Sure LC account. So make sure that all the information is complete so that these informations will guide you through requesting appointment in different carriers. Okay, so how to request carrier appointment. This is more of the questions, more of the information always agent asks on how to request appointment. So we want you individually to know how to request appointment independently so that moving forward it will help you process or it help you for requesting appointment in different carriers. So for this one, once your Sure LC is already set up, go to your Sure LC dashboard. And then once all the information, because for the beginning of this, once you set up this Sure LC account on your dashboard, you can see the different colors, yellow and red. So you need to fill up all the information of that color so that it will uh it will get the Sure LC complete. And then once all that one is complete, you need to go to contracting. Go to contracting and request. Click the request. So once you are in the contracting part, so you need to create request. The first thing that you need to request is the national life and annuity. We cannot proceed to national life group. We cannot proceed to August Star carrier if we cannot get appointed in national life and annuity. So that is the first carrier you need to complete before we can request to other carrier. So that is the second part. You need to get contract and then select either it is for annuity, it is for life, because other carrier, I believe there are so specific. For example, you get only for annuity, but your application is for life. The back office or the licensing department will email you for any clarity. So make sure you choose life or annuity for this carrier. So after you choose this life and annuity, so you can click the next and then proceed to other part, which is your AML training. Make sure under your Sure LC account, all the trainings or the AML is updated. So you have a problem if those documents is not updated. After all the information is clear and complete, so you need to click also the next, which is the sign that you already completed that item. So after you click the trainings, you can go to your ENO. So please note also that having your updated ENO will help you process an appointment in different carriers, because if your ENO is not updated or need to renew, make sure you renew it before you request an appointment to different carriers. So after the ENO, there are the other questions you need to answer. So feel free to answer them all. And then if you see the next button, just click. And the last portion of your requesting appointment is to apply your signature. Do not this is just a reminder that do not click automatically the apply signature. Please feel free to read as not all the information on this contract, but you must read it first before you click the apply signature. And then once you are sure, then apply signature, and then click the information until it says the last portion, download or no thanks. Just click no thanks for everybody's information. No need to download, just only click no thanks. So since all the carriers is requested complete, most of the problem here is the request is other days they have no feedbacks after 7 days. So if that happen, feel free to access again your Sure LC account, because here in the contracting process request, I mean at the top of this information there is at producer, at BGA, at carrier, at completed or declined. So that is your sign that you know that your request appointment is moving. So if it is not moving or you haven't received any email from that carrier after the OIC review, please don't hesitate to reach out us, because it is important that we need to follow up them after you request different appointment from different carriers. So actually our timeline here, if you don't mind, is 3 days or within 24 hours that OIC review, but other is it takes long for them to reply, or the carrier to reply that they are appointed in this carrier. So please make sure all new agents, all agents that requesting carrier, so please always check your contracting requests and let them know if you don't have any emails coming from any carrier, because we will the one also to follow up licensing moving forward. Next. Okay, so the other part of all agents is you need to add our corporate and team meetings to your calendar. So please also join education retirement group, join WhatsApp group chat, and join Facebook group chat. So on our Facebook, we have Supreme TM Foundation, OIC, and Education Retirement Group. For Education Retirement Group, you cannot join easily because we need you to enroll in the Education Retirement Group before you can be part of the TM, of the pages. So feel free to join the different page of our Facebook group, and then join our WhatsApp group, Supreme Team GC. And then for the Education Retirement Group, if you wanted to get or if wanted to join in Education Retirement Group, so these are the necessary things that you need to comply. A life and health insurance, appointed in National Life Group or North American Company, and then fill out the Education Retirement Group or enrollment form. And then if you decided to opt in, so you can submit or fill out the enhanced email coordinator. And if you decided to opt out, so there is no other form that you need to fill out. Just take note, either you opt in or you opt out, as long as you enrolled in Education Retirement Group, you can have your ERG resources like marketing labels, flyers, business cards, and letter to the principal. So please note, you cannot have the resources if you are not enrolled in Education Retirement Group. Next. And then we have YouTube channel. So this is updated every Monday. So feel free, if you miss meetings under the different meetings of Supreme TM, please feel free to subscribe also in our Supreme YouTube channel. We do it updated every week. So yeah, all the meetings are there except for the 9 a.m. Spark and the ERG National. So it's all about Supreme meeting. And then we have new to launch the Notion. it is marketing toolkit where it is Sir Sunny soon will introduce this material to all agents that you can use on your introductions and your for grand opening. So we will announce soon about this marketing toolkit. So as of now it is under created under Notion, but it is free to access. So once it is launched, we will inform everyone to check and use this marketing toolkit that we have under the Supreme team. Okay, so the new agents milestone as part of the OIC agent under of this team. Yes, sir.
Miss Christine.
Yes, sir.
We gotta finish. We gotta wrap it up. I appreciate you. So can we give her a round of applause, you guys, real quick? Can we show her some love? They put a lot of work into this presentation, and we did, yes, and we did go
Thank you,
a
Miss
little
T.
over with our
Thank you very
spotlights.
much.
But
Thank
I do
you.
want you guys to just take this sensitivity, this into consideration when they're presenting, right? I want you guys to understand it's like for them presenting in a different language. They have to put this together. Imagine trying to present this information in like Spanish, but Spanish is your second language. But you got to present this information, right? So I want you guys to just have that in mind, okay? Because they work really, really hard for us in the background. So Christine, thank you so much. We gotta transition into the $1 Million Baby though, okay? So it's about to start in like 1 minute, and I don't want to belay the hour, okay? But thank you so much. We'll continue the rest of the information next month. Hans Augustine, please close us out in supreme fashion, sir. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Again, Miss Christine, thank you very much. I do want to acknowledge our founders in the room, Miss Mary Grace. Thank you for joining the call tonight. Our equity partners, Kim Howard and Mr. Samad. Thank you, Miss Princess Map, for opening up the call. Mr. Eric Carolina, thank you for helping us with recognition. David and Miss Marilyn, Miss Tammy, Miss Betty Hall, thank you for your spotlights and your testimonies. And Hans, I thank you for hosting. And Miss Christine and Mr. Italia, I really appreciate you. Love you guys. No other. You guys are the best support team. Thank you for the presentation and the hard work. I'm signing off. I am your great host tonight,
you
Hans
guys have a
Augustine. You
good
guys have
night.
an excellent evening. Thank you.